Analysis paralysis or analysis too much analysis. Just listen to the podcast, y'all. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, this is Andy with Mindset Matters More. And I was just listening to a podcast about fear and anxiety and its ability to keep you from making progress or taking action. And so it asked a few questions that I figured, why don't I answer them for you guys with my own responses? And just give you guys some sort of insight into how I overcome analysis paralysis and some of the pitfalls that actually happen because of it that go beyond the paralysis part. So one of the insights that I got from there was you don't need to know step C and D to take step A and B. And usually, when I'm in analysis paralysis, it's because I'm looking at the entire mountain itself, not just the step I need to take that's in front of me. And so I get overwhelmed with, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, and I got to spend this money, and I have to go here, and all this energy. And by the time I've thought of it all, I'm already exhausted, like mentally and even sometimes physically exhausted from just thinking about the 91 different fucking scenarios that I need to accomplish, rather than just thinking, hey, right now, I just need to go brush my teeth and just start with that. And then I'm like an hour later, still thinking about it, still panicking about it. But the way that this lays it out is, I don't need to know the entire path. I don't need to know it yet. I haven't walked it yet. What I do know is that right now, I just have to take one step, and that's the next right thing. And that way I can break it down. And a lot of times, it's the next step, we believe, oh, it's this. Okay, here's an example of what I'm trying to say is that, okay, if I'm trying to write something for work, right? I have to write an email, I have to write just even when I was writing my book, okay? I can think, hey, all I got to do is just write one chapter. I don't have to write the book today. But even that can be overwhelming. Okay, so you know what? Let me just write a page and I can do that. But sometimes even that's overwhelming. So I back it up. You know what, Andy? Just write a paragraph. Okay, that's all I got to do is just write the paragraph. And sometimes even that's overwhelming. You know what, Andy? Just write a sentence. Okay, baby, that's even overwhelming. Okay, Andy, just sit at your computer and turn it on. Do you see what I'm saying? That the next right step can be as small as just standing up or writing a whole chapter. So it's not just like understanding that you what's down the line. It's knowing what is small enough to get you moving. It's that inertia. It's getting you going, just getting you started. And that can oftentimes take you out of the analysis paralysis because you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna figure it out as I go. So that's really an important part of the analysis paralysis is not worrying about the last 100 steps. It's just worrying about this step right here, okay? So the next thing that I really found was this question is, am I worrying about the worst case scenarios because I feel like it's protecting me? So am I using that as an excuse to not even like move because I'm like, oh, well, clearly I'm going to be embarrassed or I'm going to fail or I'm going to lose money and be destitute and homeless. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to get anything done and it's not going to be successful. So I'm not even going to try. So it's like a way to protect myself from those other things. But, you know, really, what that is a form of perfection. It's a perfectionism thing. And what do we say about perfectionism? That shit doesn't fucking exist. Perfect does not exist. So it's a way that it's self-sabotage. It's keeping you locked into where you are right now because it's comfortable. You don't want to fail. And so you know what? You don't want to feel that. Then you're done. But then you never participate in life. You never participate in doing the things that you like this podcast, for instance. I could easily say, well, nobody's going to listen to it. Nobody's going to hear these words. But you know what? Who cares? I enjoy talking about this stuff. I enjoy sharing my thoughts. I enjoy putting my thoughts and my words out into the ether, and whoever hears it, great. I love you for it. But if nobody hears it, I got to enjoy the process. And that's the piece a lot of people forget, is that they're working for the prize, for the cash and prizes at the end. But if you enjoy doing it, who fucking cares about the cash and the prizes? Yeah, that's great and that's awesome. But are you enjoying life, or are you just sitting around thinking, hey, life is fucking boring because no matter what I do, I'm gonna fucking lose? So is it protecting you from feeling that you're not going to get the cash and the prizes? Reframe it to, am I actually going to just enjoy the process? Am I going to enjoy doing this thing? Is that something that I want to do? And then the next thing is, can you reframe the worst case scenario to the best case scenario? And this one is really hard for me. I do have to admit that this is really hard for me. Like, you have control over your thoughts. And something that I have learned is that when I talk to my clients, they say, well, what if I fail? And I say, well, what if you win? What if you're wildly successful? What if at the end of the day, you can lay your head down and be proud of something that you fucking did? What if that? We so often play the what if game with like the worst case scenario, but you get to control those thoughts and think, hey, what if the positive outcome also happens? What if I actually get the cash in the prize? What if? Like, wouldn't that be fucking awesome? So you get to direct those thoughts. And that's really hard for me, because I'm just like, oh, for me, it feels like a more likely outcome would be the negative scenario. A more likely, like, if I had to think, it wouldn't be 50-50. It would be like 90-10. 90% I'm going to fail, 10% I'm going to win. So why even indulge the winning if I know I'm going to lose? But here's the thing, you're not fucking psychic. Nobody's fucking psychic. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know if a podcast or a post or anything is going to go viral on YouTube. Nobody knows if somebody's going to come and buy something from you at 100% over asking price. Nobody knows whether you're going to be successful or not at something. Not even you. But you do it because you love it. And then the last question that they asked, that I thought it was interesting, and something that I do, is one of the pitfalls of, trying to come out of analysis paralysis, is that, instead of doing what the next right step is, I do the next 30 steps. I, like, in my head, I panic act. So I start doing things all crazy, all frenetic, and like, it's always the wrong move, because it's not coming from a place of having thoughtfully thought out what is the next right step. It is, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this, and then do everything all crazy and rushed and not quality, and not really thinking, am I enjoying this? It's just an action just to act. And when you do things like that, you start piling on reasons for it to not work out. It's like, oh, I did all this stuff, and none of it actually worked. None of it actually led me to the place that I wanted, because you were just so panicked that you had to act, that you acted in ways that were not in line with what you really wanted. And what you really want is what's going to get you to the place where you're happy with the outcomes. And so, to me, I thought that was an extra valid point, because it's not only about the paralysis of all this analysis. It's like, once you get into action, not slingshotting into the opposite direction, where you are just acting just to act and doing 1,000 different things that really aren't in line with where you want to be, where you want to go, and reining that back in. So I hope these gave you some things to think about, because I really enjoyed that podcast that I listened to. It's from Christine Hassler. She's a coach who coaches people. She's a life coach. She's amazing. Um, and just think about, where do these things show up for you? All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.